Hello everyone, my name is David Christian New. I am from Portuguese history class, and today I would like to talk about Lucius Annaeus Seneca. Lucius Annaeus Seneca was an ancient Stoic philosopher who had a great influence on Stoicism and the thinkers of later generations. Seneca was born in Cordoba, Hispania, in 4 before Common Era during the reign of Augustus. At that time, Hispania was a region comprising the Iberian Peninsula, now occupied by Portugal and Spain. He was a Hispanic whose father was an educated man living in Rome. No one further asks whether he was a descendant of the Italian conquistadors who immigrated to Hispania or an original Hispanic. Whether he is descendant from an Italian veteran or an Iberian prince, the distinction is still up for debate. However, it is thought that Seneca ancestors came from the Guadalquivir Valley in Cordoba, Andalusia. Although born in Cordoba, but young Seneca spent his childhood in Rome because he was brought there by his house. In Rome, he studied philosophy and rhetoric in particular, which combined Stoicism and Neo-Pythagoreanism. Young Seneca himself was the son of elder Seneca and the brother of the governor of Achaia, namely Gallio. Seneca was a man of advanced thinking in his day and much criticized the apostasy of wealth, cruelty, and dullness. He was also concerned and reject all forms of slavery. However, no concrete action was taken to abolish slavery. Seneca's career and life is quite good. As a wealthy citizen from the imperial province of Andalusia, he reached the Senate and of course the post of consul. He also had quite an important position and was among the 4th or 5th noble people at the time. In addition to his work as a prolific and influential writer, he also held position as chief revenue officer during the time of Claudius, who was the emperor before Nero and was an imperial advisor during the reign of Nero. This period spanned from 54 to 62 Common Era, but it seems that Seneca did not exert much influence on Nero's politics. His political career was already quite successful when he was exiled to Corsica, 41 Common Era, by Emperor Claudius, because he instilled a feeling of enmity on Queen Messalina and because he was accused of an illicit love affair with Germanius' daughter, Julia. Claudius' second wife, Agrippina, summoned Seneca from exile in 48 Common Era and appointed him teacher to her 11-year-old son. That Seneca disciple was none other than Emperor Nero. Although a Stoic Seneca hated material possession, he amassed a great fortune, supposedly reaching 300 million sesterces, which is about $12 million. A large amount of wealth he owned, he obtained by borrowing money in England. Gradually, as Nero's power spiraled out of control, Seneca's fate grew more and more unlucky. In the end, fair or unfair, Seneca was charged with complicity in a wide-ranging conspiracy aimed at assassinating Nero and installing a new emperor, believed by some to be Seneca himself, to the throne. In the end, with all the dedication he put in, he was ordered by Nero to commit suicide in 65 Common Era because of his involvement in the conspiracy. Seneca contributed much to the development of Christian church, and especially to Renaissance ideas. This is because the correspondence which was believed he exchanged with Saint Paul and because of the similarity of his Stoic doctrine with Christian doctrine, made him one of the important people in the Christian church. Even Dante put it in limbo in his Divine Comedy. During the Middle Ages, many ancient classical writings were lost, but because Seneca was considered an important person in the Christian church, the monks preserved and copied his work. In the Renaissance, he also exerted a great deal of influence as his writings and thought much those of Renaissance figures, such as William Shakespeare, Louis de Camões, and the others. He also exerted an influence on modern to postmodern thinkers, such as Descartes, who used his work on the happy life as basis for the ethical thinking he developed in his correspondence with Princess Elizabeth. Meanwhile, Seneca's view related to emotional therapy provide a lot of influence in the work of postmodern philosophers such as Foucault and Pierre Hadot. These works were often written down. Seneca created many literary personas for himself. He addressed many of the questions that preoccupied him in a way that invites his reader to think about issues in their own lives. Such writings, for example, moral letters to Lucilius, or in Latin is Ad Lucilium Epistulae Morales. The writings or letters contain a variety of material ranging from profound discussion, such as the danger of cows and bats, to advanced technical discussion of Stoic theory. Seneca often used something in everyday life to lead the discussion to ethical question or moral advice. This can be seen, for example, in his 70 letter on the proper time to sleep the cable. Seneca wrote, "To such a life, as you are aware, one should not always cling. For them, living is not a good, but living well. Accordingly, the wise man will live as long as he ought, not as long as he can. He will mark in what place, with whom, and how he is, conduct his existence, and what he is about to do. He always reflects concerning the quality, and not the quantity, of his life. As soon as there are many events in his life that give him trouble and disturb his peace of mind, he set himself free." Thanks for watching, and obrigado!